Good morning, everybody. Today we have to discuss about the fuels for the second semester students. In the previous session, we have discussed about the what is the fuel, the based on occurrence types of fuels are there, and what are the artificial fuels, what are the natural fuels, what are the examples of the natural fuels, and examples of the artificial fuels. So, in this session, we have to classify the fuels based on physical states. Generally, we are observing matter will be physically in the three states. It may be solid, liquid, and gaseous state. So, based on the physical states, fuels are also divided into three types. So, the fuels are classified solid, liquid, and gaseous fuels. The three types of these fuels are further also divided into primary and secondary fuels. So, solid fuels solid fuels also getting from the naturally and artificially. Suppose wood and coal are the solids and we are getting from the nature. That's why that fuels are called as primary fuels or natural fuels. So from that wood and coal we have to preparing the coke, bone black, carbon black, etc. charcoals, etc. We are preparing from the primary fuels which are there wood and coal. So that's why these fuels are called as artificial but solid. As well as like that, yeah, liquid fuels are there and gaseous fuels are there. So liquid fuels, for the liquid fuels, petroleum, rock oil, is a natural fuel or primary fuel from the rock oil or petroleum from petroleum. We are preparing the kerosene, petrol, diesel, like that fuels are also artificially we are preparing from the rock oil or petroleum. Petroleum is a natural or primary fuels, and here kerosene, diesel, petrol, etc. are we are prepared man-made. That's why these fuels are called as secondary fuels or artificial fuels. And however, their gases fuels are also the natural gas is a naturally we are getting. That's why that fuel is called as primary fuel or natural fuel. So here from the natural gas we have to preparing the water gas, producer gas, biogas, external gas, whatever it may be. You have to man-made prepared fuels are called as artificial or secondary fuels. So which is a good fuel? The following which are characteristics are there. If a fuel have the following characters, then that fuel is called as good fuel. A good fuel should possess a high calorific value, and a good fuel should have the moderate ignition temperature. The fuel must burn with a moderate velocity for a continuous supply of heat. It should have low content of non-combustible matter, and it should have the low moisture content. Fuel on burning should not give out objectionable and harmful gases. A good fuel should have highest pyrometric effect. The highest temperature obtained with a fuel is known as pyrometric effect. A good fuel should be readily available on bulk at a cheap rate. Fuel must be easy to handle, store, and transport at a low cost. Combustion should be under controllable, that is, combustion of fuel should be easily started, stopped when required. It should burn in air with efficiency without much smoke. It should not undergo the spontaneous combustion. So, these are the characteristics of a good fuel. Generally, we are in oldest days we are using in our houses wood has a cooking purpose. At that time, we are suffered the so many problems. Heavy smoke is there. The that heat is not controlled in our hand. The cooking very difficult for the women's housewives. And nowadays we can take the one LPG cylinder that it will be everything is in our hand. The wood will be bulky. It will give the less heat, and one cylinder easily carrying one from one place to another place, and the storage also very easy. It's stored in a within the place, a small place also. So good fuel should be possess the high calorific value, and good fuel should have the moderate ignition temperature. The fuel must burn with a moderate velocity for a continuous supply of heat, and good fuel have the low content of non-combustible matter. And good fuel should have low moisture content. Fuel on burning should not give out objectionable and harmful gases. Means nothing but is there any harmful gases in that is a very irritated to human beings. That's why it is a separated the harmful gases and fill the cylinder, and there is no any harmful gases. A good fuel should have highest pyrometric effect. Highest pyrometric effect is nothing but it gives the high heat energy with the highest temperature object obtained with the fuel is known as pyrometric effect. A good fuel should be readily available on bulk at a cheap rate. Fuel must be easy to handle, store, and transport at low cost. Combustion should be under controllable. Combustion of the fuel should be easily started or stopped when required. It should burn in air with efficiency without much smoke. It should not undergo the spontaneous combustion. Almost that good fuels are gaseous fuels. So advantages of gaseous fuels. Gaseous fuels, they can be lighted at a moment notice. They are transport easily. They give high energy. They burn without any soot and are gasless. The combustion of gaseous fuels can be controlled very easy. They burn without heat loss. They are free from solid and liquid impurities. Fuel and air are uniformly mixed each other. Hence complete combustion occurs. These are the very useful advantages that there is a they can be lighted and easily transport, give a high energy and burn without any soot and ashless and very cheap cost. And the combustion of gases fuels can be controlled to very easy. They burn without heat loss. They are free from solid and liquid impurities. Fuels and air are uniformly mixed each other and complete combustion occurs. And gaseous fuels storage is very easy and transportation is also very easy and it's a very cheap cost you are getting in low cost. And when compared with these gaseous fuels artificially which we are using, it's a traditional fuels, the very advantages are there. Listen here. In every question paper, in board question paper, they will be asking physical classification of fuels is very important. Based on physical states, fuels will be classified into three types. They are solid fuels, gaseous fuels, liquid fuels, gaseous fuels. Again, these are classified into two types. Solid fuels are also classified into naturally natural fuels are primary fuels and artificial fuels are secondary fuels. And liquid fuels are also two types. Natural are primary fuels, artificial are secondary fuels. Gaseous fuels are also two types. Primary fuels are natural fuels and secondary fuels are artificial fuels. So examples are very important, especially they will be asking only examples as like that. Write any two examples for the artificial fuels. Write any examples for the primary fuels, either solid fuels or gaseous fuels or liquid fuels. And this is the very important every time asking in the question paper. You should remember that write the characteristics of a good fuel. Interrelated to questions, listen here. Write the characteristics of a good fuel. Or write the characteristics of a gaseous fuels. Otherwise, write the advantages of gaseous fuels. So, almost for these three questions, write the same answer, whatever it may be. Good fuel is nothing but gaseous fuels, which have the characteristics related to the gaseous fuels, and write these all characters whichever they applicable for the gaseous fuels. That's why you should remember these and write the clearly answer for the question, write the characteristics of good fuel, or write the advantages of gaseous fuels, write the characteristics of gaseous fuels. For any question, you should remember these characteristics. A good fuel should possess a high calorific value. A good fuel should have the moderate ignition temperature. The fuel must burn with a moderate velocity for continuous supply of heat. It should have low content of non-combustible matter, and it should have low moisture content. Fuel on burning should not give out objectionable and harmful gases. A good fuel should have highest pyrometric effect, the highest temperature obtained with the fuels known as pyrometric effect. A good fuel should be readily available on bulk at a cheap rate. Fuel must be easy to handle, storages, store and transport at a low cost. Combustion should be under controllable, that means combustion of the fuel should be easily started or stopped when required. It should burn in air with efficiency without much smoke. It should not undergo the spontaneous combustion. However, the advantages are there. They can be lighted at moment notice, light in weight, right? They are transported easily, they give high energy, they burn without any soot and are as less. The combustion of gaseous fuels can be controlled very easily. They burn without heat loss. They are free from solid and liquid impurities. Fuels and air are uniformly mixed each other, that's why hence complete combustion occurs. So thank you everybody. We will be meet in next session.